Hi golfers, Nick here from Nick Taylor Golf. It's Friday, so welcome to another lesson on golf tips. This week on golf tips, we're going to talk about the shoulder down move in the stack and tilt golf swing. In recent weeks, I've discussed the 10 words of stack and tilt. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the shoulder down, or otherwise known as the tilt in stack and tilt. So the 10 words of stack and tilt came from Plummer and Mike Bennett in writing the stack and tilt book. They were asked to summarise the golf swing. They came up with these 10 words, which is absolute genius. In previous lessons, I've talked about these 10 words, but in today's lesson, we're going to talk about the shoulder down, which is basically the tilts in stack and tilt. Now, a lot of people were kind of put off by the wording in stack and tilt, but in today's video, I'm going to really explain why it's so important and why the best players make this move. So first up, I'm going to hit my standard 7-iron shot here using the stack and tilt golf swing. I've got the grid set up. Talked about this quite a lot. So this would be my standard procedure, just standard golf swing. Okay, it felt really good. You can see on the screen that shot there, pretty well struck, just to the left of the line. So it's rolled out to about 166 yards. This is a 7-iron. I was 4.2 degrees into it. I hit the ball in the middle, 3.6 degrees downward. So pretty good shot. And like my swing is quite trained, and I think about these 10 words a lot. And in my lessons, I try and put these 10 words across to people to really understand the golf swing. And people think that stack and tilt is complicated, and really we can simplify it into these 10 words. And the shoulder down is, I think, one of the most important pieces of the golf swing. Whether you're stack and tilt, conventional, tour player, good player, someone that's trying to learn the game, the shoulder down movement is critical for you to get better at golf. So what is the shoulder down? Now, you probably think it's pretty obvious, right? It's me moving my left shoulder down, yeah, obvious. Why do we do it? Well, it's to maintain a stable position. Now, when we swing the golf club, we're trying to swing this club on an angle, on the grid, around the body, but also we're trying to maintain a stable head position. So from the front view camera here, as I swing back, you can see my head stays very stable. And so a lot of the time here in the bay, I'll get the players to use the camera as basically as a mirror and put in a circle around the head and just getting that feeling. I'll do this from both angles, right? You need to be able to keep your head stable. Now, the amount that you move your shoulder down can vary from person to person. If I'm standing more upright, or if I'm using a driver, my shoulder tilt won't be as much as, say, if I have an iron. So when I'm bent more forward or at address, my shoulders are going to tilt on a slightly different angle. And that's because to keep our head stable, our shoulders have to turn at a right angle to the amount we're bent forward. That's the only way we can keep this head stable. So using the data points here at GOLFTEC, we get this information, but basically to keep it simple, guys, you just got to keep your head in the circle. And I don't mean just in the backswing, it's also into the follow through. So I'm going to play my swing. You saw the shot hit there. I'm going to play it out so you can kind of see my swing up on the screen. You can see what I'm doing. Like, I've not watched that swing back yet because I've just filmed it, but I'm going to be pretty sure of what I did in that golf swing. So we looked at that from the side view. I know that I'm bent forward roughly 40 degrees. My eyes are looking down at the golf ball. I haven't got my chin up. A lot of people put their chin up. I get my chin tucked down looking at the ball. Once I get my shoulders more rounded here, it's much easier for me to tilt them down and keep my arms connected to my body. We talked about the hands in a previous week and how it's important to keep these connection points and pressure points under the arms. So I'm bending down, bending over, looking down at the ball. So as I start back, the first move that I feel, and this is critical, I think a lot of people ask me this question, oh, what do you feel? Well, I feel my shoulder moves down. I tilt my shoulder down to take my hands back. I see this so much that as soon as that first stage, either the player lifts up, kind of roll the hands open, roll the face open. That's disaster. Once you open that face, you've got to move the shoulder down, keep the face pointing at the ball for as long as possible. I'd teach this lesson a lot, right? First stage, right? You've got to be able to control this club face, right? So the first stage of the swing, as I go back here, I'm taking the hands and the club inwards along these grid lines, but I'm feeling my shoulder tilt do the work for me here, this first stage. Right, I'm not just taking it back like this and not turning, right? We know that the best players are turning quite a lot at this stage. So this first stage is just tilt, and then as I go through, I'm also tilting, right? And this is really key, right? If you can't keep your head stable in that length of swing, you're not going to be able to do it in a full swing. So start off with, this would be the drill. Actually, don't even get a ball. Start off with weight on the left, shoulder down, hips forward, right shoulder down. Weight forward, left shoulder down, hips forward, right shoulder down. Okay, and just start off with that. Once you can do that in a practice swing, once you can control where your club hits the ground, right, then you can do it with a ball. Yeah, simple. Left shoulder down, right shoulder down, hips forward, weight forward at setup, right? Get the weight forward at setup. Left shoulder down, keep the face pointing at the ball, hips forward, right shoulder down, right? Simple. Weight forward, left shoulder down, hips forward, right shoulder down, right? Doing those small swings is a good way to build up, right? You can't expect to keep this head stable if you can't do it in that length of swing. Once you can start to do those lengths of swing, let's do one more. Weight forward, left shoulder down, hips forward, right shoulder down. Right? Just gradually starting to speed this up, right? I'm not going past to the next stage until I can do this consistently. I've not even looked at the data here, but you can see the impact points there. Just noticed they're pretty much out the middle. I don't know if the data was similar. I've not really been looking. So weight forward, left shoulder down, hips forward, right shoulder down. So then you start to build it up, right? We're not expected to keep that stable then. I'd also be looking at this from the front view, right? That head has to stay stable from setup, backswing, impact, right arm parallel in the finish. That head should still be in that circle. Now, I'm not saying keep my head down. I think a lot of golfers make this mistake, trying to keep their head down. I'm actually tilting it a little bit left in the backswing and then tilting it a little bit right as I go through. So once you can start to build up, now the first stage there we just went to roughly about here. So the next stage is going to be kind of left arm parallel. So same thing. So weight forward, left shoulder down, hips forward, right shoulder down. Right. Every time I've hit these shots, my head's hardly moved. Right. And it's much easier to control the contact on the face. Right. I didn't quite get that one perfectly out of the middle. I don't think. Yeah, slightly on the toe. But you can see the contact points here. Typical, isn't it? Are pretty close. Right. And I don't play a lot of golf. Right. I think I've hit 8 shots today. In the lessons I did, and probably the same yesterday. So now I'm going to start to build up a bit more. So left arm parallel. So weight forward, left shoulder down, right shoulder down, hips forward. Again, pretty good strike. So I'm just starting to build this up. There's no point going on to a full swing and expecting to keep your head stable if you can't do it in those small swings. So hopefully that kind of makes some sort of sense, right? Okay, weight forward, left shoulder down, hips forward, right shoulder down, right? We're tilting, right? This is the tilt. Yeah, this is the shoulder down is the tilt, right? We even have a tilt at impact, and that's where you see how my shoulders would be slightly tilted to the right. This one's lower at setup. Okay, backswing, left shoulder down. Downswing, hips forward. Now I have a tilt right more at impact than I did at setup because my hips are pushed forward. And then as I continue down, hips forward, right shoulder down. So my shoulders are basically more or less turning at a right angle to the mount I'm bent over. So even just grab a club like this, put your head against the wall, you can try and train this movement. But basically, very simple. Left shoulder down, hips forward, right shoulder down. Okay, now once you've started to hit the ground and hit some shots, then you can start to build that up into a full swing, right? There's no point progressing to the full swing until you can do like the quarter swing, the half swing that I've just been practicing. Okay, now I'm still feeling the first stage of my swing is going back by my shoulder. Okay, like I said, don't throw the hands out. Okay, feel like the shoulder takes the hands up, right? From the front view, feel like the shoulder takes the hands up. So weight forward, shoulder down, hips forward, right shoulder down. So I'm going to try and put all these pieces together. So full swing, so weight forward, left shoulder down, hips forward, right shoulder down. And yeah, not bad, right? I've warmed myself up there. That was my 8th shot, getting pitched around 160, probably similar to that first shot I hit today. I can't remember exactly where it was. But again, pretty close to the middle, 3.7 degrees into out, 3.6 degrees downwards, and a pretty straight shot. So I thought that's pretty simple, right? You've got to tilt, keep your head stable, and basically use this to take your hands back, right? Use that tilting, use that left shoulder down to move the hands back. Make sure you keep this face also pointing at the ball, right? Don't turn like this. People do that, right? Shoulder down, left shoulder down, hips forward, right shoulder down, okay? If you get that right, you can improve your ball striking. But like I did there, I started off with small swings without a ball, then hit a ball, then longer, hit a ball, and then full swing. Right? I didn't go on to the next stage. Guys shouldn't go on to the next stage until you can do that, until you can hit the middle of the club face. And you need to find some way of having some feedback, either something to hold your head stable, another person maybe holding a club, a noodle, whatever it is, a video, camera, use your phone, right? That's the best way, I think. You can even set the iPad or your phone up here and just see, like, use it as a mirror, or even use a mirror if you can. But I think it's important that you video some swings, right? Video some swings when you're practicing, just to see if you're doing it, right? And just see if you can start with those small ones, because you can't do that. There's no point moving on to those others. So guys, hopefully that drill helps. If you enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you again next week for another video.